Hello everyone, this is your host Pipe Runner, joining you today from the beautiful city of Oslo, where the grass is green and the water is clean. How are you guys doing today? I welcome you all to this amazing casting session. A solo match between Hafiz, playing in the color purple, spawning in on the southwest side of the map, playing as the Abbasid. While on the other side, we have LM Bob, playing as Mongols in the color yellow. Very interesting positioning of the TC. A very safe position place your TC, making sure that your gold and wood line, or rather small wood line, is pretty much protected by this position. In terms of vision, I think Bob is trying to spot out areas to attack, and it seems like Bob is opening up with the barracks, a very standard opening for the Mongol, and this basically indicates a tower rush, which Hafiz clearly spots. Now, the question is how Hafiz deals with this tower rush. As the Mongols, you would want to tower either the gold in case of pretty much every other save, or the stone in case it's the Abbasid. The question is, which one does Bob go for? Going in with two villagers, realizing the fact that the Abbasid might try to pull in builds to burn down the tower. In terms of scouting, well, seems like both of them ended up on the same place, and in terms of sheep, I think Hafiz doesn't have a lot. But I think at this point, maybe they have equal number of sheep, perhaps, roughly. But the sheep would be pretty critical at this early stage of the match because of this tower that are denying Hafiz from the berries. Lately, from what Beastie has mentioned, generally going out for the gold as the Abbasid is a mistake, because Abbasid doesn't really care about the gold, and they really get their power spike from the second TC or the third TC. So this tower is not going to be of much help, because this military wing will spawn in for infantry. They can insta build a ram and push this. So right now this looks like a very standard Mongol tower rush opening, nothing out of the blue. 4 spearmen out on the field. The only thing different here is perhaps the fact that he is building with 2 villages. These 2 villages might try to build a few more towers, maybe. I mean, Bob is still gathering wood. So yes. Let's see what the scouts are doing. Half is still going out for the sheep, realizing the fact that this pressure needs to be dealt with. And until that is done, he can't go out for the berries. While the Mongol Khan is chilling here. Not sure why. Maybe he is busy microing somewhere, making sure that he does not lose his wills and spears. And this seems to be the right call, completely denying the resources that the Abbasid has. So no stone, no gold, which means they are stuck with 1 TC at this point. Now the important question at this point of the game is, what will Abbasid do with this clutch of units? Well, Hafiz sees this tower, and he would want to deal with this tower first, but what he does not see is this tower. And Hafiz would want to go out for for the stone out there because he needs that second TC. Interesting to see that Mongol hasn't aged up yet, and this age up is delayed pretty much because of this second tower, which kind of makes sense. The thing is, this is going to be useless because of this ram. There's nothing much that the Mongol will be able to do because they're anyway slow to age up right now, and they're aging up with the deer stone. Now the thing is, Abbasid will end up getting the stone anyway, probably go down with 2 or 3 TCs, and these towers and the investment that went into it are not going to pay off. And now you're going to fall behind because you have deer stone instead of a market, which could have been useful to you. Now in a map like Gorge, where the markets spawn in the middle of the map, it's a bit hard to trade anyway. So, well, the first ram goes out, and Bob, realizing that these spears won't last a second if the units inside the rams pop out, chooses to escape. Seems to be the right move here. Now, Bob may be planning to switch into Keshex and try to put down some pressure on the Abbasid player. But Abbasid is on their way to take out the towers that were blocking his way and perhaps going for gathering the resources for the second piece. Mongol finally managing to age up. Let's take a look at what their scouts are doing. Okay, so Mongol, realizing that the stone is very crucial for the Abbasid, is putting down a lot more pressure than usual, especially focusing on the stone. The Mongol has indeed realized that if this is not stopped, then perhaps they will face a lot more problems eventually, because as soon as the economy of the Abbasid player takes off, the game basically spirals out of control. So whatever they plan on doing, they need to do it soon, but I think it might be a bit too late because Hafiz has put down a lot of units, a lot of villagers on the stone to make sure he gets the resources needed for at least one more PC. And he will diligently move back. And the Mongol, even though spending a lot of resources on making these units to put down some pressure, doesn't seem like managed to get anything done. Mongol now transitioning to a market, realizing that he needs to match the eco boom of the Abbasid player if he intends to survive this match. Has put down 2 markets and might be trading with this neutral market or this one. This one might be a bit short, but a bit more safe. This one will get immediately spotted, and the Abbasid player might reply to this trade route with perhaps some cavalry of their own. The Kesheks getting stuck between the houses due to the pathing. But nothing much that can be done here. The Abbasid player's scout has been placed very carefully here in the middle of the production and the TC. So Hafiz has pretty much all the knowledge of what's going on the map. In terms of the Mongol base, at least. So he knows that there is no more production, so no archers are to be expected, only spears and Kesheks, and he has the route counter to it. A very good garrison of the villagers to try to deal some additional damage to the Kesheks. Kesheks, being weaker versions of knights, take a bit more damage, or rather have lesser HP, so oh well. So the Mongol trade has finally started, and Hafiz might see them because of this trade route. Now, As of now, Hafiz is sticking to an infantry composition. And finally the second PC comes up. Oh, the Mongol player spots the spy in their base and takes the scout out of the game. Hafiz might want to build a second scout just to stay informed on whatever's going on out on the map. He may do it from the TC or perhaps from a stable that he might build eventually. But for now, I don't think Hafiz realized the fact that the Mongol is raiding. Now the thing is, a trade boom should be able to outboom a TC, an additional TC. Now the question is, as the Mongol players, it's a bit hard to secure this trade route because it's kind of out in the open. Now the good thing about this is the Mongol player is dealing with an infantry only composition, which means this is not really mobile, so they won't be able to move about as easily as they would like, and hence this trade will be secure for quite some time. But let's see. Mongol player building or adding an archers now, and I think in terms of upgrades they have gone for the range armor, obviously because they have been trying to dive the TC and do a bit of damage that way. In terms of research, Abbasid is going for the, I think it's called phalanx, which gives their sphere additional range. And now the Abbasid player spots the trade. Now this is going to be tricky because the trade is going through the middle of the map, kind of the middle of the map, and the Abbasid player can just stand on the trade and disrupt whatever the Mongol player is trying to achieve with this trade boom. Going back in the comfort of the TC, massing up archers, but I'm afraid this number is not enough. As you can see, the Abbasid player has 35 military units as compared to 28 from the Mongol side. In terms of eco units, the Mongol has more economic units, which I mean are probably the traders being counted in. So I mean, when in disadvantage, generally it's not a good idea to fight out like this, and instead try to take the fight inside the range of your TC. But it seems all the spears have been taken out by the Mongol player. So this fight might actually turn into the Mongols' favor, which was kind of surprising because now it seems like the army numbers have been equalized. Let's see if we see a change in production. No, we are still sticking with the infantry only composition, which is fine. The Mongol will keep producing more and more traders. Now, the thing to keep in mind is Abbasid is on 2 TC, while the Mongol player is on 1 TC plus 2 markets, which means they can outboom the Abbasid player. Now again, the tide of battle shifts towards the Mongol player, and they have 27 military units out on the map right now as compared to 22 by the Abbasid player. The Abbasid player building a forward tower, going out with a forward mill to make sure that they can hoover up these berries. You're also getting berries out here. I'm surprised to see that the Mongol is not trying to raid at all, because they know that the food in the base would run out soon, so they will have to go out on the map. But I guess in the heat of battle, when you are being pressured by your opponent, you generally tend to forget these things. It's alright. Abbasid going up with all the researches, eco upgrades. So we are going up with horticulture, wheelbarrow, and steel arrows. So that way the Abbasid archers can do a bit more damage against these against the Mongol units. Deer stone being pulled forward to give the archers a bit more speed, helping them kite better. I did not realize this earlier, but the deer stone is very effective for kiting because it improves your speed. So yeah. The Abbasid player going out on the map and walling in the market. Oh my god, what a sneaky move. This is really nice. I mean, I don't know if the Mongol player sees this, but he will soon realize what's going on and might want to do something about it. It might be too late by the time he realizes it. And Abbasid is also walling the other neutral market. Crazy stuff. 51 to 49. Abbasid is matching the military units 1-to-1, so... Oh, the cavalry is walking right into the spears. This, I think, will be a game-changing move here, because this will completely stall the Mongol trade, and that will make things very problematic. Because if there is no trade for the Mongol, then I don't think there's any way for the Mongols to match the trade or match the eco boom of Abbasids here, and the game will soon start shifting towards the Abbasid player. The other trade has been completely walled off, so the markets are just doing nothing now at this point. And I don't think the Mongol player realizes this. So I think as the Abbasid player, you would be pretty happy because you have successfully managed to take down the Mongol trade. And that too without harassing him. I mean, you just walled him off. And now he has to spend additional resources, or at least spend some APM on dealing with this. I don't think the Mongol player realizes this even now. He's putting the deer stone now. He's playing very aggressively. I don't know what he's trying to achieve here. Maybe oh, what? Okay. Oh, so the Mongol player decides not to go for or rather not send units to deal with this wall, but instead just build 2 more markets. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense because oh, where is this guy going? I think he accidentally dragged this trader, unless the trader wants a promotion and get into the army or something. But it's alright. He's going out for the deers. Why? I mean, you can see that all 7 of them are here. But okay. In terms of military numbers, Abbasid has 79 units while the Mongol has 68. This is not looking good for the Mongol player, like, at all. These villagers are idling. Now, even though in terms of eco, the Mongol player has more units, but some of his units, at least 4 of them, are not doing anything, and I think the trade route is also a bit messed up because yeah. This is bad. Now, even though this might look like the Mongol is doing better in terms of eco, I mean, many of his eco units are just idling. I don't know why the Mongol player is not bothered about it. Another thing is the Mongol is trying to take a fight under the main TC, which is again not a good idea. He has 42 archers, but he does not have ranged attack. And realizing the fact that Abbasid has gone up with the military wing, he would have access to boot camp, which will make his infantry a bit more tanky, can soak up a bit more damage. Now at this point, it seems like the game has become a bit one-sided. We are comparing 109 units to 84. And these are better units because they have all the upgrades and the boot camp upgrade. I don't think Mongols should try to fight this. This is not going to go well for them. And even here, I think... Not entirely sure what's going on. Okay, the Mongol deletes these traders. Okay, finally, the trade is back on track. But at this point, things might be a bit too late for the Mongols. The Abbasid player is already aging up. This is a big army. This is a big army. I mean, at this point, I think if Hafiz wants, he can just walk into the Mongol base and the Mongol won't be able to do anything. For sure, the Deer Stone will make it a bit hard to take this fight because the Mongols will have a very easy time kiting. But when you're defending, of course, you would want to take the fight under your TC as much as possible. Mongol going in for a dive under the wood line. But Hafiz managing to push this away. He might want to wall this off eventually so that he can focus on the main fight and not deal with these pesky raids. Mongol aging up with the Kurultai, which might soon join the battle. Where's the Kurultai? Here it is. Mongol going for some upgrades here. Upgrading his Kesheks and archers. I'm still surprised to see... Okay, he has got +1 ranged attack, which is good. Now going up with the Eco Wing and then getting the Fertile Crescent will allow Hafiz to transition to a farm eco very smoothly, which means he won't have to go out of the map for food. He will still have to secure gold though, because he would want to rely on his armored units. Oh, very clever indeed. Hafiz realizing that his opponent is on mass infantry. 2 mangonels will deal with this mass. Now, I don't think the Mongol player sees this, and this might come off as a surprise for him. Like if 2 mangonel shots hit the center of mass of this army. Yeah, it won't end well. 2 shots, and there it is. He needs to move back and come back with some sprinkles if he wants to win this fight. Like with every shot, I think he's taking out 10 units or something. Yeah, this was a bad fight. I don't know why the Mongol chose to take this fight. I mean, could have moved back, got a few sprinkles out on the map. Oh, Stone is already on fire. Mongol is on 102 eco units. So in terms of eco, I think the Mongol is fine, but in terms of army numbers, it's not good. Mongols putting down more production, realizing that the Mongols need access to sprinkles right now. going for the scattered formation, making sure the mangonels deal as less damage as possible per shot. Now the Mongol needs to survive in order to make sure he has Pringles to deal with this artillery. But the question is, will they manage to do so? I think, is this another wall I'm seeing? Crazy, I don't know if the villager will manage to get there. Okay, the trade, again, going through the middle of the map. Now, Mongol has 15 men-at-arms on the field, which might be able to do something here. But again, like, the micro will be very important here. Wow, 3 Sprengels out on the field already. Yeah, this might actually change the outcome of this battle. (51 to 86). This battle is not going in the favor of the Mongol player. Now what the Mongol player needs is a mangonel, which he realizes, of course. Seems like the right thing to do. Mongol player pushing them back now. Pushing the Abbasid player back. I think in terms of gold income, Mongol is looking pretty good because of their unchallenged trade right now. Abbasid seems to be struggling a bit with gold. The Khan will get taken out right away. The Kurotai fails to open. One mangonel shot might do a lot of damage to this infantry mass, which Hafiz realizes, and he chooses to go back. I mean, this is great to see that Hafiz is choosing his battles very carefully and making sure he does not lose his military mass. In terms of military numbers, Hafiz is doing pretty well with 94 compared to 58 at this point. Also, it seems that Hafiz is finally managing to catch up in terms of eco count as well, even though I think it might take a bit of time for him to get to that exact number again, but then again, I mean, you're on TTC, your opponent is on 2 markets, so that's alright. Okay, one mangonel shot in the middle of the mass. Sprengels doing their work. Again, I don't know, where are the units? The men-at-arms are not here. You need men-at-arms to deal with this. Hafiz has 15 gulams on the field, which will overwhelm the Mongol base pretty quickly. Mongol needs to do something about this right now. I mean, in terms of military numbers, he seems okay, but if you look at the army value, I think the Abbasid player is doing far better because of these expensive units. Mongols' trade seem to be slowing down a bit. The gold income has slowed down. 6 crossbows, not going to work. Not going to work. Well, Hafiz has 0 crossbows, but these gulams are doing a lot of work for him. With this, with their quick strike ability, they can deal a bit more damage in a shorter amount of time. I just love to see the fact that you can just make so much unit in feudal and choose your battles carefully that you can overpower even the strongest civs. This is a really amazing display of the fact that you can choose your fights carefully and win the game, even against a player who might be several points above in ELO. Now at this point, I think this at this point the Mongol will find it very difficult to deal with this incoming stream of units. These are armored units who will take a lot of time to kill if you don't have crossbows, and they are not going to stop because at this point the Abbasid eco is taking off and Bob taps out. With that, Hafiz emerges victorious. If you would like me to cast your game, feel free to fill out the form in the description of this video. If you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe. I hope we meet again. See you guys until next time. Bye bye.